Episode 50. How is the Cash Kid making cash? It's my mission to create a generation that's more informed about their finances. One that asks more questions, smarter money management skills, and less stress. But one of the things we haven't discussed is how am I, the Cash Kid, actually making cash or money? Now, in Season 3 of the show, we focused on spotlighting other fellow Cash Kids about ways that they've been making money. And what we learned from talking to these kids and teens is there are so many ways for us to make some extra cash while still being young. So today, I thought I would spotlight some of the ways that I've been exploring to make some extra cash. Let's dive in. The Cash Kid podcast is underway. Number 1, my part-time job. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I might get a little excited and run down a few rabbit holes here and there when I learn about ways to make money. The most recent one was how to make a faceless YouTube channel. This is where you create a bunch of YouTube shorts and post them on social media to try to get a bunch of views and make money on YouTube. There is a 16-year-old who has made millions doing this. He had a simple course you could even take to see how he does it. And guess what? I watched it, I tried it, and it's a lot harder than it looks. And there's so many different kids on social media saying how they do this, but they don't say about all the behind the stuff scenes that it takes them. I've had a few other things like that one as well. And honestly, I learned a little from doing research and knowing what's a vital option, or what's it's really gonna take a lot more time and energy that I have to give it and make it work. So let's focus on one of the ways that I am making money. And that's through working at the concession stands at our local sporting events in my town. Now, I found out by seeing different kids my age and hearing them talk about working here. So I thought I could do it. So I texted the owner and I got the job. Now, don't get me wrong, juggling school, a podcast, and a job can be a lot. But working at the concession stand has been a great and steady way for me to generate income. It's steady, predictable, and gives me the freedom to invest in my other business ventures. Fun fact, one night I was working the concession stand at a high school basketball game, and I had a customer come up and ask if I speak French. Well, turns out I'm currently taking French, and I was able to make his order in French. And he tipped me $5 for it. And to that person, merci mille fois. Also, if you're looking for a steady income and you're old enough to work, consider getting a part-time job at places like Publix, your local concession stands, or any other businesses in your area. Even if it's just for a few hours a week, it's a great way to start making money on your own and learning how to manage it. So, what's a lesson that I learned from this venture? Keep your eyes and ears open. I learned about this one from a friend and discussing it, and then researched it myself. There's always opportunities around you to make money. You just have to be ready to take them. Number 2, buying, selling, and trading sports cards. Another way I make money is by flipping sports cards that I can sell through 2 platforms, eBay and Whatnot. You've probably heard of eBay, and Whatnot is an auction-based site where you can buy and sell cards in real time. Here's a couple from my collection that I am currently selling on eBay. There is a Zion Williamson graded Gem Mint 10 rookie, triple color patch for Antonio Gibson, a Babe Ruth golden card, an Austin Eckler graded 9.5, and a Clyde Edwards-Helaire autograph rookie. And so I sell all these through different websites such as eBay, Whatnot, and I've actually been able to make a decent amount of money by doing this. And flipping sports cards is easier than most people think. I spend just about an hour each week searching for cards at a low price, buying them, and then reselling them for a higher value. And setting up an account on one of these platforms takes a little time. But once you're in, it's super easy to list, sell, and ship. Plus, both sites offer prepaid shipping labels, making the process even smoother. With this, I've also learned how to speak in front of a live audience, how to ship items, and how to be prompt and professional, and people skills. If sports cards aren't your thing, you can even do this with sneakers, vintage clothing, or even collectibles. The key is to buy low and sell high, just like I did with this card. I got it for $5 and it's worth around $15 to $20. Figuring out how to do this is really key in being able to fulfill this business idea. So here's the lesson learned. Selling sports cards taught me how to talk in front of a live audience and present myself well so that customers trust me and want to buy from me. Confidence and communication are key. Number 3, selling 3D printed items. Another way I make money is by selling 3D printed items. This one is a fidget spiral, And so basically it just comes all the way out. You can stick it all the way back in, and then you can do it any other direction, and it'll go all the way through. And so these are really fun for out of class, and that's why it was really easy to sell them to my peers. And then this other one's another stress fidget toy, and you kind of just set it on your finger and it spins. And making items like this are so easy. 2 Christmases ago, my brother got a 3D printer, but after a couple months, he lost interest. And I saw an opportunity after watching people's Instagram videos of selling these 3D printed products. So I put that printer to work. And just making these small fidget toys and selling them on eBay or to my peers, within 2 days, I had already made $100. The best part? The printer does most of the work. I just load the filament, press a few buttons, and wait for the products to print themselves. Also, profit margins are so high. Sometimes even 400 and 500+%. Also, I had the opportunity to sell at a local business at their Young Entrepreneur Week, and I made around $150 in 2 hours. It was amazing. So, if you have a 3D printer or anything else that's lying around that you can repurpose to make money, go for it. There's always a way to turn something that you already have into cash. What's the lesson learned? Well, a lesson I learned here is to use something that you already have. Sometimes making money isn't about finding out something new. It's about seeing the potential of what's right in front of you. Number 4, the podcast. I'm not gonna lie, this is the hardest way I make money. Sometimes I just wish there'd be some rich donor who'd email us and say, I'm about to do this in an Australian accent. I think the concept is great. Here's some money to help you run your show easier and make it better. But no donor has showed up yet. Running the Cash Kid podcast isn't just about hitting record. I had to write scripts, research topics, and manage social media and engage with all of you. It takes a lot of time and effort, but I absolutely love it. Building a podcast or any content-based business takes patience. But once you grow your audience, you can monetize through sponsorships, merchandise, and ad revenue. Speaking of which, if you want to support this podcast, visit our website at cashkidpodcast.com, check our merch, and spread the Cash Kid love. Every share, every listen, and every purchase of merch helps us keep bringing you awesome content. Find everything at cashkidpodcast.com. Lesson learned. The lessons I've learned from running a podcast are innumerable, honestly. Time and dedication will always bring more results. So, the more effort you put into something, the more rewards you'll see over time. So, let's recap the key lessons I've learned while making money. Number 1, keep your eyes and ears open. Opportunities to make money are everywhere. Number 2, learn how to present yourself well, whether it's flipping sports cards or pitching an idea. Communication is everything. Number 3, use something you already have. Sometimes your next business idea is sitting right in front of you. And number 4, time and dedication bring results. The more effort you put into something, the more you'll get out of it. Alright, Cash Kids, now it's your turn. Are you ready to take what you've learned and start making your own money? Whether it's through a part-time job, flipping sports cards or other items, 3D printing items, or even starting your own podcast. There's always a way to get started. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at Cash Kid Podcast, and stay tuned for the next episode. Remember, anyone can be a Cash Kid. You just have to learn how to become one. Cash Kid, out.
The information presented represents the views and opinions of the guest. This podcast does not intend to provide personal investment advice. This content has been made for informational and educational purposes only. To make a full and informed investment decision, we advise you to speak with a financial advisor. And for kids, definitely your parents first before investing.